Buenas noches a las todos y bienvenidos a las Lobos de la Lucha, your weekly CMLL post show here at BC WrestlePod. For those of you who don't speak the Spanish, good evening and welcome back to Los Lobos de la Lucha. We're getting zesty and spicy at the top of the hour, but welcome to our weekly CMLL post show here at BC WrestlePod, where we cover, well, at this point, what don't we cover is the true question. And but as always, my name is Mikey El Jefe of BC WrestlePod. I be holding it down, ziz. And I'm also on the ones and the twos and everything in between. And it's taken a while. We had to renegotiate some contracts, but after some back and forth, we have finally reached an agreement, and I would like to properly, reintroduce everyone who might be new, and for those of us who've been here for a long time. Guys, welcome back. Papa Oso Will is in the house. I have missed him. He got a pay raise. He's getting a stipend. Like, he's getting all these extra perks. No, but in all seriousness, spring is always going to be busy for us. And though both of us teach different levels of education, we both can agree that the spring sucks when it comes to with education and schooling, because everyone wants to throw everything in there, and it's also the end of most things. And so he's been away for a little bit, but I'm happy to have a co-host, so it's not just me talking about Lucha Libre. I've missed you.
I've missed it too.
And you have been missed. You have been missed.
I'm glad to be back.
And I am glad that you're here. And what a way to come back, too, because we had some fun stuff happening in the main event before the match. Like, we got a whole entire concert. It was great.
I know.
I'm so excited to talk about it. But, of course, before we get into the action of CMLL, as always, we're going to go through this intro bit real quick. Guys, we're pretty much live almost every single day of the week outside of a certain days. But even then, there's lots of things happening. And you'll see some sort of iteration of my face and another friendo of mine. But that is what you can see live. And then also we have social media, BC WrestlePod. You can pick your favorite site and you can see all sorts of fun stuff over there. What is it exactly can you see? I don't know. You're going to have to go look and, dive into all of that. Be like, it's going to be a surprise. We also have some merchandise at our store, bcwrestlepodshop.fourthwall.com. That includes new designs of all of our review shows and more stuff that I can think of off the top of my head, because why not? And then last but certainly not least, we have a Ko-fi, a coffee, whatever you want to call it. It helps pay these bills and it helps pay for all these services and pay-per-views, especially the summer, because summer is going to be jam-packed. It's going to be fun. It's going to be jam-packed. So if you would like to donate to the cause, that link will be in the YouTube and the Twitch chats ever so often, but no pressure, because you being here is enough. Alrighty. Now that I got the intro bit out of the way, let's talk about why we're really here, and that is some Lucha Libre action. And boy, I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I will just say, Will, a lot has gone down since you last were here. So, but
I guess so.
Well, mostly people are injured. People are back from injury. Me falling in love with the same crop of characters that, we always talk about. Like, it's nice to see Soberano Jr. back from injury. Not going to lie. But we're also going to talk about some stuff because Mystico might be kind of hurt. And I'm like, no! But we'll get into all that nonsense. Alrighty, let's get into this. Back in the saddle, we're gonna be rusty, but hey, we're gonna get these wheels greasing at some point. So let's just get into everything. So we are here to talk about the Friday, May 15th edition of CMLL, specifically Viernes Espectacular. And this was a very special night because not only did we get a live performance and the singer of Mystico's theme song, Me Muero, doing a whole entire concert. There's also a celebration of the 20 years that song has been released. And I'm like, I feel old because I was listening to that when I was like 12. So we're gonna get into all of that. But also there was a lot of matches that involved some students and some teachers. So I'm like, all right, let's see how this goes. We kick things off though, as we normally do, with some form of the pequeño estrellas or the micro estrellas. But this time we had a little bit of flair to it because we had a very special three-way match with the maestros, a triangular de pequeños maestros. So these are three of the teachers of the wrestling schools out here in Mexico. And this was a triple threat match between Ultimo Dragoncito. We also have Piro Piroz and Pequeño Olímpico. Say that 10 times fast. So I really enjoyed the fact that a good chunk of these matches were a lot of student teachers teaming up or going up against each other, as well as a mix of our regular CMLL shenanigans and tomfoolery that we always get. And it was really nice to see the pequeño maestros taking it to the ring and to show everyone that, yeah, they've been wrestling for a long time and they have schools, and here's why. I don't think it was anything barn burner, so to speak, but I really did like this match, and it definitely was a way to get the crowd excited, and it definitely helped carry the energy in the right direction. I also want to point out that I cannot take Pequeño Piro's mask seriously because he looks like a crash test dummy with these colors.
I know. It's so funny. I was like, okay. And the
like,
glasses over there are cracking me up too.
oh my gosh, Ultimo Dragoncito too. I was like, what are these shades? Okay, whatever, it's fine. No, but I really enjoyed this match. I had a fun time with this one.
It was fun. I mean, I don't think it was necessarily anything to write home about, but it was fun.
And I tend to agree. And I feel like mostly all the time, the first matches are usually always going to be that. You're just like, okay, let's just warm up the crowd. This is the opening act, if you will. But I had fun with it. And I feel like that's a cop out because I always have fun.
Me too. Me too. So, I mean, I had a good time. It was fun. You know, it was, I felt like it was typical. It wasn't anything super out of the extraordinary. You know, I mean, it was great, but I just wasn't all that like, oh my God, it was the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
No, but that's later.
Yeah.
As it tends to be. We're easy back in, but it would be Pequeño Piroz who does pick up the win, so our crash test tummy lives to see another day.
Yep.
Alrighty. So from exactly. So from here, though, we start to get into more of our regular action. So with our second match of the evening, after our opener, we do get into another student and teacher match. This is Maestro y Alumno versus Maestro y Alumno. So, alumno, no, it does not mean aluminum because a friend of mine was like, does this mean aluminum? I'm like, no, that is not what this means. So, but alumno in Spanish translates to kind of like a graduate or a former student or things like an alumni, if you will. So this is teacher and alumni versus teacher and alumni. And this, of course, is Rey Cometa teaming up with Pantera Jr., taking on the team of Virus and Cerebro Negro Jr. Yes, I've been practicing the enunciation of these names because, like, what kind of Mexican would I be if I didn't? I'll be like, I'm Latino, y'all, so I gotta bring it to y'all. This is where things got better for me in terms of just like, yes, good. Now to kind of catch everyone up, I've been really enjoying the fact that, especially on the Friday show, CMLL has been using Rey Cometa and Espiritu Negro, them as a tag team, more often on the Friday shows, and they have been really fun in tag team and trios actions. And it's really fun to see Rey Cometa team up with a student of his in Pantera Jr. And again, On the other side of things, you also have Virus, who's also been wrestling forever and has been being utilized a lot recently on the Friday show, and him teaming up with Cerebro Negro Jr. This was fun. Also, I will never get tired of Reiko Meta's presentation and his entrance. I was like, do it for the peoples. Do it for the peoples. As far as the in-ring goes, I liked it. This was again a lot of fun, but I feel like from this point onwards is when things started climbing up, and I was like, okay, we can do this.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, the first match was like it's like an appetizer. It's like, oh, here's something to tide you over until the main meal gets here. And it was good. It was delicious, and I would probably order it again. But now we're starting to get into like the more entrees of the evening, and yeah, this one was really good. I really enjoyed this one a lot. I like Reiko Meta as well.
It is, and like I said, it's been really fun to see, especially on the Friday show, him and Espiritu Negro getting featured more. But unfortunately, it would be not unfortunately, because I enjoyed the match, but Virus and Cerebro Negro Jr. would ultimately be the victors of this match. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. Alrighty, let's get into why we're really here, though, because this is where I'm just leave this picture right here. Of course, listen, I will always support women's wrestling, especially Amazonas action. But I cannot do it justice without my partner in crime, Papa Oso here, who is a firm number one fan for the Amazonas division. And this is where, this match is where this is where things just took a turn for the best, because this was just great. So let me set this up. So we get a relevo sencillo de Amazonas, and this is 2 a 3 caídas, so 2 out of 3 falls. And again, this is some girls that have been here for a while, and for some of us, it also features some of the newer girls that CMLL has, acquired and procured and signed. So of course we have, make way for the big girls, because we got Scotty and newcomer Kira taking on the team of just the Puerto Rican babe with power, Miss Zuxis, teaming up with one of the newer girls and Kada. So I love Scotty. I love her so much. Scotty is fantastic. Zuxis is fantastic. Amazonas action was great. And I was like, ladies, yes. I was like, yes.
Oh yeah. It was like, okay, this is where I live right here. And the rest of the evening could have been crap and I would have been fine. Because this was so good. Of course, I'm always a huge fan of the Amazonas because, like I've said many, many times before, they are so much more brutal than the men. So much more brutal. And they're super fun to watch. And, I guess every man likes a cat fight, I guess. But, it's just, man, they tear each other up. And it's so great. And it's not just girls hitting girls. It's like legitimate like wrestling form and technique, and I love it. Every Amazona match I have ever watched, some better than others, but I've never not enjoyed an Amazona match. Never. In all the time I've been doing this, I've never has there been one that I've been like, nope, not at all. And this one was so good because I love Zuxis and I love Scotty. Oh my god! And it was great to see Kira and Kira. I just was like, more, give me more.
You're just like, this is what I have missed, and I am glad I'm back.
I'm like, we could have gone 3 out of 5, and I wouldn't have been bored.
For reals. I think what's been really fun, especially in the Amazonas division over the last year, is because of how much that the women is in CMLL are getting more shine both in CMLL and outside of the company as well, has been really fun to watch. Now, of course, me being El Jefe of BC WrestlePod and all the things that we cover here, which, hey, you know what? Someone's got to do it. And honestly, I'm going to toot my own horn for a really quick second, go off a sidetrack. It's because of the hard work and the support from my other, compatriots here, Papa also being one of them as well. We have come a long way and we've made lots of new friends along the way too. So I am forever grateful. But the reason I bring this up is because it's been really fun to watch the CMLL Amazonas be getting so many fun opportunities in and outside of Arena Mexico. Like again, like for instance, not too long ago, we covered a Stardom show, which is the all women's promotion in Japan. We had a couple of the CMLO girls who were there training with the Stardom girls, like compete on the pay per view, which was a lot of fun. Persephone's been getting a lot of TV time in AEW and Ring of Honor, holding that CMLL Women's World Champion, as she's also like getting these opportunities as well. It's been really fun to watch. And again, the Amazonas division is really getting that spotlight, which is really fun to watch. And I'm looking forward to this summer because we are getting lots of crossovers with lots of different companies. Like we're about to get Fantastica Mania coming up here in June. So this is going to be very fun. And I cannot wait. In which New Japan and CMLL will be going at it. But also this year, Stardom is also sending some of their girls to Mexico. So I cannot wait. But yes, that is my soapbox. And to kind of wrap it up, Scotty and Kira pick up the victory over Zuxis and Keita. And yeah, this was great. Fantastic. No notes. 10 out of 10. Would do again.
Yeah.
And I'm in agreement with Papa also. If everything after this was meh, I would be like, you know what? I still had fun. But the cool thing was, it wasn't, because I feel like it was this match and onwards where it's just like, all right, just punch it, like hit the gas, no brakes, like here we go. Because
Yep.
I love watching so I like watching legends of Lucha Libre just fight each other. And I'm just like, I don't care if they're like 70. Yes. So in a special mano a mano de maestros, of course, we have our favorite Blue Panther taking on another legend in Lucha Libre. Because yes, I did my research and I Googled it in Solar. I don't know if this is going to get me in trouble. So, okay. So, a little bit of background, right? So, Nacho Libre. Nacho Libre, the movie that starred Jack Black. I did a lot of research. It's one of my favorite movies from the mid 2000s, growing up as a weird preteen in middle school and a weird teenager in high school. So, I had that and Napoleon Dynamite as my two go tos every single time that I love. Oh my gosh, I love Napoleon Dynamite. Tina, you fat lard, come get your dinner.
That's so funny.
When we're done, I'm gonna tell you, because I have a list of like such weird, obscure movies, and you'd be like, "No, that makes sense given your personality." We'll talk afterwards. But I promise this is going somewhere. So Nacho Libre had a lot of like legends of Lucha Libre, because there was a lot of Mexican wrestlers and Mexican Lucha Libre in that movie that Jack Black was doing, right? So Jack Black, obviously not a luchador, was actually working alongside actual luchadors. And this is where the conversations that me, you, and Adolfo would always have, like, the wrestlers in Mexico, the Lucha Libre stars, they are treated on par with like A-list celebrities here in the States. Like they be acting in movies, they be doing commercials, they be spokespersons for products. So the reason I say that is because Blue Panther and Solar are within that realm of like the Santos family and all them. It was like the legendary families in Mexico. And so for me, as a movie nerd and a wrestling history buff, to me, this was probably my favorite match, not because it was a technical masterpiece, but I got to see two living legends who are still kicking ass at their age right now, doing some fun stuff. It wasn't the cleanest match. It wasn't the most like, crazy, high flying, high paced action,
No,
but it didn't need to be. And I loved
it didn't. I agree. I don't think it needed to be like glitzy and glammy, and it was exactly what it was supposed to be. I mean, which was great, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like I truly enjoyed it. I was like, because I love Blue Panther anyway, and this is my first introduction to Solar. I don't think I've ever seen him before.
Not at least in CMLL like this, because this was my first introduction to him too. Because I was like, hold
Okay.
up, I gotta Google him real quick.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think I was going crazy. I was like, I don't think I've seen this guy before, but which again is awesome for me because I love it when I get to see people I've never seen before. It's great watching all of the old favorites, of course, but then you get those matches where they're introducing either for me they're introducing someone new, and I get excited, and I got excited because I was like, "Ooh, I don't know this guy, and I can't wait to see what he's got." And I wasn't disappointed at all, and I hope to see more from him as we move forward.
I agree. I would like to see more Solad and him popping up here, especially on Fridays. And again, I agree with you in the sense that it didn't need to be glitzy. It was just really fun to watch two masters of the craft just literally show the kids, be like, hey, this is what years of experience will do.
Yeah, exactly.
And it also didn't hurt that Blue Panther won. I'm just saying.
Well, true.
No, but this,
Excuse me, and I kind of figured he was going to.
yeah, I'm telling you. So, okay, because I know we're trying to keep to just this show, but so much has gone on for CMLL. So CMLL actually had their first big US show over back in April in Las Vegas during WrestleMania weekend, where every company flooded Las Vegas to do a show, and so CMLL had their own. The crowd in Las Vegas was so over for Blue Panther and Ultimo Guerrero because those two had a match to the point where the crowd threw dollar bills into the ring, which is like a unique tradition in wrestling in general, but especially Lucha Libre. Like they were throwing fives and tens. Like that's how good that match was in Vegas. And I was just like, I have never seen that in all my years as a wrestling fan. I've always heard of it, but it's been like a giant myth. But I was like, Blue Panther is that guy, and I love him. And Ultimo can just continually to put on bangers too. Same thing with the Blue Panther and Soul Out. I was just like, show the kids what's up, you guys. Show the kids what's up. Now, speaking of the kids, though, so this has been a very interesting development that has been happening in CMLL. And I know why we're doing it because it is building up to AEW's Forbidden Door pay per view coming up in June, in which it is a crossover show with AEW, New Japan, CMLL, and Stardom. So those four companies will be putting talents on the cards and having matches for AEW's pay per view. If I wasn't going on vacation the next day, I was invited by somebody who lives in the area in San Jose that said they would buy my ticket and would let me crash at their place and we could have a whole entire weekend. And I'm mad that I can't do that because I'm going on vacation the next day. Anyways, but that's beside the point. I bring up Forbidden Door is because this is where the Don Callis family on the right side of this picture, Hechicero El Clon and Rocky Azucar Romero come in because Don Callis family has been a pain in the butt for the CMLL boys and the CMLL talent. And so they've been annoying. They've been running Ramshot and CMLL over the last month. And so CMLL has had it. So they've been sending some of their heavy hitters to deal with it. And in this case, it was the form of Soberano Jr., El Novio, Barbaro Cavanario, and our lovable wrestling zombie, Defunto. Again, like I said, anytime I see Soberano Jr., I was just like, all right, what Met Gala inspired outfit are we going to come out with next this
I
time?
know, right?
I was just like, get this man to the Met Gala. Can you imagine if they gave him money and the designers of what this little
Oh my
brain can think up
god.
of for the Met Gala? Because his wrestling gear is already insane. I was just like, yes. I was like, I love it. Um, this was a really fun match. I will always say this until the cow comes home because I watch AEW and well, I mean I watch everything, but I love the like delayed Pele kicks, like the backward soccer kicks, as the kids say, that El Clon does when he does those. I was just like, how do you make those look so effortless? I'm mad that it looks so good. And also Rocky Romero just being a complete turd, and I love him for it.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, the CMLL boys tried. They put on a good show, but to no avail because the Don Callis family wins. I was like, boo! But I was like, no, but it is building up to something probably to Forbidden Door. So I'm like, okay. I'm just happy to see Etchy settle too. I was like, hi, Etchy. I love you.
Yeah. I've been so out of the loop. I really hate that I've been out of the loop. But again, these guys come into the ring and I feel like I never left. It was like, because they're in this one. And the reason I like this one is because all of a sudden now it's like, it's like some of my old favorites. It's like wrapping up in a familiar blanket, and just sort of reading a familiar book. And it felt comfortable to me. So I just sat and just enjoyed it. It was like, I wasn't looking for anything. I wasn't like, ooh, wow me or anything. I was just like, I want to just be in the moment. And it was great.
And I love that. And okay, so kind of a peek behind the curtain, because like I believe that us being honest is what makes us, I don't want to say different than other podcasters, but we try to keep it 100% because like life's too short to be fake. I love that with CMLL, especially Viernes Espectacular, like you said, it's just like you could be out of the loop, but then when you come back, it's just like they never left. They've always been they've been waiting for you to return. And it's just like, and I feel like that's what CMLL has a big advantage, and I feel like that's what a lot of international brands in general have the advantage of. It's just like, I missed the show, but like I'm not trying to speed run through weeks of TV to be caught up on what's going on. I was just like, hey, I've been gone for a little bit. I have a little now I got a basic info and a recap of what happened, and it's like, oh yeah, I can easily follow this. It's like I never left.
Yeah, that's exactly correct. I feel like I haven't left. Like I picked up right wherever I left off, and it's exactly what I thought it would be.
CMLL Jesus in the form of Soberano Jr. is like, hi, Will, welcome back.
I know, exactly.
Don't worry, though, because I will just say that I kept Templario warm for you.
All right.
But we had the understanding that when you came back. No, Templario has been doing some fun stuff, too. And he should be popping up soon. But like I said, the Don Callis family do win here, but I am excited to see what Forbidden Door sets up between CMLL and AEW and Stardom and New Japan. So it's going to be fun. Of course, we got Fantastica Mania coming up in June, which should be a lot of fun. But Will, let's get into why we're all here and what was, prompted as the main event and the whole entire concert that we got at the very beginning before this match even started. So, in our main event, Relevo Australiano, of course, this is Sky Team, Místico, Máscara Dorada, and Neon, taking on the team of Volador Jr., Averno, and Ultimo Guerrero. So I was like, God, what a lineup of rudos. Yeah. We gotta love it. So first of all, I was like, ooh, this match about eat. And then before that, we got a whole concert because this is also the 20th anniversary of Me Muero, which is Místico's theme song that he comes out to on occasion. And he was accompanied by the actual singer, Miss Natalia Jimenez. And this crowd was losing their absolute mind. And honestly, same. I was like, girl, 20 years of this song. Hell to the yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was so funny. I wasn't expecting it. It's like, I was like, okay, we're going to the main event, and someone's singing. I was like, okay, that's Místico's theme song. I was like, oh, that's the original person. I was like, well, this is cool. And again, it's so funny because, and I say this is cool, and I was really kind of like, wow, this is really cool because I love the idea that in this culture, things like this are celebrated. And it was not just, not just Mystico's theme song was celebrated. The person who wrote it and sang it was celebrated. And that to me is super special. Like they took the time to acknowledge this woman. You know, I mean, I love that. I love that about this culture. I just love it. It's like, here, we're going to celebrate it.
No, and
And
to
not
kind of
just
get
it, but
it,
everything. I mean,
exactly, and to give you even more context to this too, as you know, your fellow brown person. I'm just kidding. No, but in all seriousness, Natalia Jimenez in general is a big pop culture staple in Latin culture, especially in Mexico. But Me Muero is one of those songs that transcends the generations. That is a song that my grandma was listening to when I was a little kid. And so the 20-year anniversary of that song in general is big. Like obviously on
right.
the YouTube they had to mix it down because somebody uploaded a video from inside Arena Mexico during that segment.
Oops.
No, but no, in the order to compare the difference. So obviously, because you on the YouTube, they don't want to bust the eardrums of everyone watching at home. But the video that someone uploaded to the internet during Natalia Jimenez singing Me Muero, Arena Mexico shook that stadium with how loud it was. And that's how important and cultural relevant this song is. And it's super important for the Latin culture and the Mexican culture in general. I tell this story all the time, but last summer when I took my mom to AEW, we didn't know, but Mystico was on the card for the TV tapings we were at. And everybody in that arena was singing the song, and me and my mom started crying because as you know, as being Mexican, and for me being Puerto Rican and just Mexican and half and all that, that song is like revolutionary for the way for what it means and for what it says and what it stands for. So it was really cool to see the crowd do all that. And then, just as an extra added bonus, Smash also ruled. They're just like, we had a whole concert. Now let's watch six men fight. And I was like, yes, I'm gonna watch six men do everything and the kitchen sink.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to watch six men fight like it's the last day on earth.
Seriously, I was just like, is the world ending? Did I miss something? Because I was
I
like,
know. I'm like,
I was out of breath by the end of this. Will I really was? I
yeah.
was like, woo!
You know, and it's so funny because I have such a much higher regard for Mystico when ever since he fought
MJF.
Yeah. And that whole fight, and ever since then, I've just been like, dude, I get it. I get it. You know, because at first I was like, okay, I understand his significance. So I'm not downplaying that by any means. But I didn't get it. Now I get it. So I totally understand. So when this whole thing happened, the song happened before, and then the match, I was just like, I got you. I'm there with you now. I understand. I get it. I totally get, and it's hard for me because, I'm a white guy, and I don't know a whole lot about brown culture at all. And so everything is new to me, and which I love because I'm all about, teach me something, teach me. And so ever since that fight that Mystico had with, was it MJF or whatever his name is, that fight, see, to me, that's one of my top fights, like, ever. It was so brutal. And I mean, blood everywhere. And Mystico, and watching Mystico fight through the pain, through the blindness, because the blood in his eyes, and still achieve what he achieved. I was just like, damn, dude, I get you now. I get it. I get who you are now. As if I was reborn, Hispanic. I get it. And so now I have so much more reverence for him than I used to have as the white man that I am, the ignorant white man that I was. And now I get it. So in this match, I was just like, I got it. I was just like, wow, I was out of breath too. By the end of this match, I was just like, geez, Louise. I was like, I couldn't even imagine what it would have been like sitting in that arena during this match. They probably would have had to carry me out on a stretcher. I was just like, I was so anxious through this whole match. I was just like, oh God, I don't know if I would have survived it live.
This match definitely lived up to it and was definitely the send the crowd happy home on a Friday night match. The Sky team does beat the Rudos as they should.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, what a main event. This was so much fun.
It was.
I was just like, oh man. I was tired. I needed a nap after this match. I was so amped up. So I watched this last night because I started it on the weekend and I was like, I got through half of it. I was just like, all right, I gotta watch like the last 3 matches. The worst mistake I did was watching this before I was supposed to go to bed, because then when I went to bed, I just sat and stared at the ceiling. I'm like, I'm too amped up.
Yeah. That makes sense. And can I also say that I'm enjoying watching Mascara Dorada like every time he's on my screen now.
I just
enjoy looking at him.
He has definitely toned up, and he's just like, that's for you, Will.
I'm just like, wow, look at you. Like he's been catching my eye lately. I mean, Templaria is still my baby daddy, but Mascara Dorada could be my side piece.
He could be your young twink side piece, muscular twink side piece, your twunk, I guess is what the kids call it. I don't know.
I don't know what I don't know. I'm not up to that, but yeah, it goes delicious.
Be like this 23-year-old will show you something.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure he's sure.
And there it is, y'all. Welcome back, Will, and he has brought the horny. No, I'm just kidding.
It's what I do.
Be like, if you couldn't tell, he's our gay representative. He brings the gay agenda to wrestling, and we need it badly.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if things do better next year, we're gonna get Will to join me and Andrew as we watch Effie's Big Gay Brunch next year, because it is literally the gayest wrestling event on the planet.
I've watched parts of it.
Yeah, I know you have, and I love Andrew. And Andrew's like, why is Will not here? I was like, because he's busy. Spring is busy, but yes, we will get this man to watch the gayest wrestling event every year now.
Okay.
Oh my God. Love that. I'll just start sending you the link. Be like, watch this whole entire thing.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. And we did the live watch along, and here's what you missed this year. We had lesbians, we had makeouts, we had a wrestler called CP Gay.
Love it.
We had a whole battle royale that was literally called the Twinks Unleashed.
I love that.
It is such a fun event. I had so much fun this year. But that is the end of our post-show portion, but it is never Los Lobos de la Lucha post-show without us previewing what's coming up on Friday. And my God, this card is just insanely crazy busy and stacked. So, a little bit of the shorter side, we have 5 matches, but the semi-main event is about to go crazy because of what it's entailing. But let's break it down, shall we? So this Friday, I almost said April, May 22nd, 2026. We're going back in time, y'all. This is what we can expect. So kicking things off in the Primera Lucha in a match Relampago, we have Tornado taking on Estudiante Jr. So 2 of our Escuela boys from the tournament this year will be throwing down. So that should be a good time. Then in the Segunda Lucha, the Amazonas. So our second match is going to be an Amazonas match, in which we're going to see AEW's Thunder Rosa, which I love Thunder so much. And she is teaming up with India Sui and Gata Negra to take on the team of Dark Silhouette Olympia, who, girl, greet Greek goddess bit like shit brick house is back, and I love her.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course somebody I also missed on my screen, and she's back from injury. Miss Reina Isis, my girl, is back, and I'm happy to see Reina back. Then in the tercera lucha, again we are getting CMLL versus La Familia de Don Callis. So from AEW, we have this time we have Máscara Dorada, Barbaro Cavernario, and Neon. Very interesting combination of three.
Wow.
Two of them. Yeah, you have two technicos and technically a rudo, but hey, when it comes to defending CMLL's honor, all bets are off.
Yep.
And they will be taking on again Hechicero, El Clon, and Rocky Romero again, probably building up something to Forbidden Door, which I'm here for. But then in the semi-main event, the tournament is back, y'all. We got the Copa Junior VIP 2026, and we are getting a eliminatoria match. So this is going to be all your junior kind of weight class people. And so in this match, it essentially elimination style, everybody against each other. But in this match, we have Atlantis Jr., Soberano Jr., Zandokan Jr., Ángel de Oro, Star Jr., Viano Tres Jr., El Cobarde, Hijo de Stuka Jr., Brillante Jr., Espanto Jr. Obviously, all the juniors are in this one.
Love it.
But honestly, I'm just like Soberano, Zandokan, and Atlantis. I was like, here we go.
I know. I saw that. I was like, Zandokan, hey.
I was like, he is back. I was like, yes, we have missed you. We have missed you.
Yep.
He's been out on injury for a while, and now he's back, and I'm just excited.
Hey.
So that match is going to be fun, but listen, I just want to say, I'm just excited for this main event because this person was my wrestler of 2020. It was the 2025 last year. Yeah, so this is going to be a lucha estelar match and por el campeonato mundial de ROH. So this is for the Ring of Honor World Championship. El Bandito versus Volador Jr. I'm like, I'm so excited. This match is going
I really wish Volador Jr. would grow his beard out again.
I mean, he did for a while while you were gone, and then you weren't here, so he decided to cut it. But hopefully now that you're back, we'll see.
He'll grow it out again.
Yeah, be like, just for you, Will.
He's like, oh, Will's back. Let me grow this out real quick.
Be like, anything for you, Damien.
Hey, I'm telling you, a beard makes a man sexy.
Be like, good to know. Writes it down on a piece of paper. So, okay, like really quickly, I have told Will this in, conversations. Be like, I can grow a beard. It's just that my weird, like, suffocation of my face doesn't allow me to keep it for very long. Same thing with the top of my head. I was like, I can grow really long hair, but because it's hot down here where I live, I was just like, my hair screams during the summer. I'm like, sorry, we got to let you breathe. But anyways, that is for this Friday's episode. And on that lovely cliffhanger, that is it for us this week for Los Lobos de la Lucha. Hey, we did it. We didn't know how it was going to go, but we're back in the saddle and we're stronger than ever. We're ready for round 2, baby.
Yep. Bring it on.
We are most definitely going to. Obviously, I am happy that Papa Oso is back and I have him at least for a little bit of the summer, but then he decides to leave me for other things. No, I'm just kidding. No, wow, did you see the bus I just threw him under? No, I'm just kidding. It's crazy because his spring schedule is crazy, but then he also knows that my summer schedule ends up getting crazy. So now it will be my turn to disappear for a couple of weeks at a time over the course of the summer. But hey, the two of us are back together, and I'm excited to be a dynamic duo again for CMLL. And we will be back here next Wednesday, same time, same place, to give you our thoughts on this upcoming Viernes Espectacular. But don't touch that dial because we still got a good, fun week ahead of us. On Friday night, the TNA Post-Show will be happening. We are getting a rematch between Mike Santana and Steve Macklin after, the match had to be legitimately stopped with the ref throwing up the X sign because, Macklin got knocked cold turkey out and concussion protocol was there. It was a whole thing. It was scary. Glad everything worked out, but we're getting a rematch between these two, and I'm very interested to hear Leon Slater. We were just one day short of him becoming the longest reigning X Division champion. only for Cedric Alexander to take that dream away from him last week. It was crazy. So we're going to break all that down on Friday. Then on Saturday and Sunday, you get a double dose of watch alongs, but in different flavors. On Saturday night, me and Kilt will be here to do WWE's Saturday night's main event. And we will be probably joined by our new friendos, Matt and Sean of If We Had the Pencil podcast. And then on Sunday, Kilt will be tagging out, but my friend Benny will be tagging in as we do a watch along for AEW's Double or Nothing, which is going to be a lot of fun as well. So lots of fun things happening this Memorial Day weekend. Also, I will say this as we go into the weekend, but please be safe, have fun, and take care of each other over Memorial Day weekend. And thank the people in your lives that made Memorial Day the reason that it is, honestly. Please remember those who are still here and remember those who gave their lives to serve and to protect. And yeah, that's all I have to say on that matter. Anywho, that is going to be it for us here tonight. So we got to get up on out of here. But thank you so much for tuning in. We will be back next Wednesday. But until then, from all of us here at BC WrestlePod to you at home, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. We'll see you later. But until then, sayonara, adios, and until next time, peace.